Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's time for Zenshu episode review number 5. Welcome once again, guys. It's going to be on Zenshu episode number 5, which is a series that I've been reviewing quite a bit on. This is actually one that I'm liking more and more. This episode was a character development for sure episode. Um, I begged the question on episode 4, what's next? And I even said I hope now they can start developing more of these characters because we still have shells of them. Shells in the sense of Natsuko only knows them from what they are from the movie, but this episode opened up a little bit of these characters more. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, but the end was a cliffhanger. So for sure, I'll be watching this next episode, which is already out today, and maybe reviewing the next episode today. I won't release it today, but as we go, I'll be releasing videos. So thank you again for the love and support you guys been showing. If you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. And let's talk about this episode 5. So first of all, we get a little bit of Natsuko's past life, where she is um, essentially um, a workaholic in its all, and she tries everyone to be workaholic as her. She pushes a newbie to be as good and as talented as she is, and almost like looks down on people for not trying to be. And it's it's a very common trait in the industry. I mean, in any industry is what I meant to say. There's always workaholics where if you're not at their level, it almost seems like, are you even trying? Kind of deal. So, Natsuko is basically there, and she kind of concludes, or we conclude the flashback with her kind of being like, I'll just do it myself, right? So the episode starts with her back where she is. And again, we don't know if she's like reincarnated or not. I kind of feel like she's not. Like she might be in a coma, but I could be wrong. Natsuko is pretty much she is there, I guess, of a character. And she is still destroying these beings that are attacking them, and she's doing a really good job in her part. But at the same time, she is not allowing anyone else to help with destroying the creatures, and I always forget their name, but it will come to me. Anyways, as she's destroying these creatures, and essentially is doing a really good job of it, she decides to kind of be like narcissist. Not the word. It's like she's almost flaunting the fact that she is the one doing all the work and all the heavy um duty, I guess. Like she's killing all these um different monsters, and she doesn't need the help of anybody or anyone um in that matter. So that kind of brings other characters from the nine down, and it's like it shows that they're definitely not too happy with her. It was bothering me. They're called voids. Anyways, while this is happening, Luke, Braveheart, and Yunio, which really are the two main characters that I really want to fight, Min is kind of just there still. They're pretty much fleeing down, but all this changes because the story moves on to Destiny. Now we haven't seen Destiny since episode 2 or 3, I believe, where she was introduced and then kind of forgotten, and she has bulked up a bit now. Again, she is highly in love with the character, the cat mask character that came out in her episode that Natsuko drew, and she's kind of taken that persona. She has the mask still, and she's bulking up. Like she has completely change who she is because of Natsuko's creation. But nonetheless, she is trying her best to basically still help with the orphanage, but it's not working. So the story shifts with them going into like the boonies of the city to get these orphans to want to come to her orphanage so that she can feed them and take care of them, so on and so forth. So they go to the boonies. Natsuko mentions the whole fact that that wasn't mentioned or wasn't really seen in the movie, and we're getting these glimpses of now we're adding stuff to what we don't know yet or she doesn't even know yet. So it's kind of exciting in that portion, and a lot of things happen from that point, to be honest. But essentially, they find the kids. The kids are doing all things and different things like stealing and all that to survive, and they eventually convince them to shift their efforts and go to this orphanage. They kind of brainwash them almost by feeding them. They're like, if you want more, you can go to the orphanage and there's food there. In all this, we get introduced to another character, which his name is Justice. Now, Justice was a member of the Nine Soldiers. And again, we were introduced to the Nine Soldiers in the beginning of the series, but there's only four of them. So begs the question, why are they called Nine Soldiers? Well, this is where we're kind of introduced more to the fact that they were nine soldiers. Luke, Minmin, Unio, and QJ are just the remains of what the nine soldiers were. So Justice is this dragon-like character, and he seems to be like a sleazy character. Luke looks at him and is just like, I can't believe you're here. Natsuko knows who Justice is because he's mentioned in the movie, but they kind of just brush him off. And um, after seeing Luke essentially, like he goes into this whole like I want to forget about what I just saw mode. Natsuko goes back and talks to Justice. Now, Justice again, he's very sleazy. He's this part of town where people don't like. And Natsuko gets a little flashback of what she knows of Justice. And that essentially is there was this battle where another giant character that was part of the Nine Soldiers got hurt and I think died in that moment in Luke's arms. And everyone was so fixated with the death of this character, they didn't realize Justice was also awfully hurt. Although he didn't die, he was very much hurt. And then Natsuko finds out through this conversation through Justice that he was so hurt that I think one of his wings or something like that never recovered, which is why he left the Nine Soldiers. And Justice kind of opens up to her and says, I just don't want to put more on Luke's shoulders where he feels more guilt for something that is not his fault, but at the same time feels almost like he was rejected by the group. So that's kind of all nice and done. Natsuko then goes back, and there is a void attack again, and they're just eggs. They don't know what to do, and Luke is doing the right thing, which is investigating first. And Natsuko just jumps the gun, draws a character, and the character essentially is like an old timey samurai. He goes and starts slashing all these eggs, which it seems like they're gonna be saved by Natsuko again, but then the eggs kind of explode into this slime and it starts attacking the character, and her pen changes its tone for the first time and says that the drawing is not completed, that she needs more drawing to do. So she doesn't know what to do. She starts trying to figure it out and try something else. And the episode ends with her character being killed, pages flying everywhere, and the slime attacking Natsuko or about to attack Natsuko. And that's how the episode ends. Now, I'm going to assume Justice is going to jump in and save the day, but we don't know that for sure. And there's just a lot. There's a lot, and I'm excited and also nervous to see what happens next. But we'll see for sure. Very intense episode. There's a lot of development on Natsuko, as in she needs to let other people help her. She can't do it on herself, and I think that's kind of one of the things that is gonna maybe fix her, maybe wake her up, maybe if she is in a coma. I don't know. I could be wrong. But at the same time, there's other characters. Luke seems like he was like that, and realizing that he is seeing himself maybe in Natsuko, now he's trying to not be like that. So there's a lot of things going on. So I do appreciate that this episode. It was a really good episode. I'm excited to see what happens in the sixth episode. It's already out. I will be watching it, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you haven't done so by now, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.